emergency? My baby's missing. Okay. Where's your address? Denison Street. Okay. How old? Looking for her for over an hour. Ma'am, how old? I need you to calm down. I'm sorry. She's only 3. When was the last time you saw him? Morning, real early. I went to check for she's been sick with the flu. Okay, is it a male or female? It's a girl. Is it a girl? Yes. Okay, you saw her this morning around 6:30? Yes. That was the last time you saw her? Was it 6:30 this morning? Yes, and then she laid back down and went back to sleep, and we went back to bed. Okay, do you live with her father? No. Who is her father? Her father is a guy named...
If you're just spending a ton on all your streaming services, then welcome to Philo. Say goodbye to cable boxes, long contracts, and endless searches for something to watch, and hello to more than 70 channels and thousands of movies for just $25 a month. Your networks and shows live and on demand, plus an unlimited DVR to save them all? Philo's got you covered. With a free 7-day trial, you can sit back, relax, and save hundreds. Visit philo.tv to start streaming and find out why people who love TV love Philo.
Bam! HelloFresh. Guys, shrimp spaghetti with a kick is what we're going to make. You guys know that HelloFresh makes cooking dinner easy, fun, and affordable. Let's do this. Everything is already pre-packaged, pre-portioned, so you guys have no food to waste. HelloFresh is so good, you guys. Me and Jess have it every other night, and it's absolutely delicious. They have 50 different kind of, including vegetarian and gourmet options. So it makes it super flexible to skip a week, change delivery dates. You can customize your meals super easy. You guys, look at this. We got this done in less than 20 minutes. Let's try it out. Cheers. There's no way I made that at home. So delicious, you guys.
Use code YouTube16FM for 16 free meals and free shipping, plus 3 surprise gifts.
He doesn't even know that she exists.
According to her 911 call, she then went back in a little later and she was gone. So she drove around for 2.5 hours looking for her, and then decided to call 911.
And you've been looking for it for the past hour? Yes, I've looked everywhere.
She ran out of gas, and there was a woman who gave her daughters a gas can full of gas, and they took the gas can back to her, and they apparently went home. And then that's when she called 911.
Have you been outside checking the area? Yes, I drove up all the streets around here looking, thinking maybe she went outside or something.
Weston, West Virginia is this beautiful little small town nestled right in the middle of the mountains. Driving into Weston the first time, it's just such a quiet little peaceful town. It's not really somewhere you would expect something this tragic to take place.
We're working the case of Aaliyah Lunsford. She went missing back September 24th, 2011. Right behind us, the little town that she lived over on Denison Street. They've never recovered the little girl's body.
With any of the cases my brothers and I work on, it's best for us to find out as much as we can about the victims. And that way, hopefully we'll have that stronger connection when we're running our sessions.
Right now, we just don't know how to deal with it. I mean, we want to find Aaliyah to give her the proper burial.
When police arrived to the Lunsford home, they noticed that there were no signs of forced entry and it was highly unlikely that Aaliyah would have gotten out of bed and left the house on her own.
She never leaves the house unless an adult is with her. We love her. We miss her.
We want her home. The more people we can get to help, the better chances of bringing her home.
If you listen to the 911 tape, she does not give a specific time that she checked on her daughter. The 911 operator does, and she rolls with that.
Okay, you saw her this morning around 6:30? Yes. When was the last time you saw him? When was the last time? That was the last time you saw her? Was it 6:30 this morning? Yes.
She had told the 911 operator that she had put Aaliyah to bed early because she wasn't feeling too good. And then when she checked on her about 6 or 6:30, she gave her some more medicine, and then she put her back to bed. And then a few hours later, when she got back up, she noticed that she was gone. The police brought in divers who searched the river directly behind the Bendale home because the canine dogs had led down to the river where they had found no footprints. And that's what made them think that she had gotten up and walked out of the house. They searched all areas around that house and they didn't find anything.
From what I understand, they just searched around where the house and then down by the old HK casting building. Nothing had come from Lena. Nothing had come from Ralph. Nothing had come from any of the family. You know, bring my baby home, something, but nothing.
It just really hurts to think that Lena had anything to do with this. And in my honest opinion, Lena is not my sister if she could do anything like this to a child. And I know that's wrong to say, but that's just how I feel deep down.
When the search went on in Vedas, came out with a gun. He tore up Aaliyah's flyers in front of the search crew. Tore them up and then stood there and laughed. Dared anyone to search his property. Dared them. Nothing was done.
3-year-old Aaliyah Lunsford went missing from her Bendale home Saturday morning. Folks from across the country have gathered in Lewis County over the past few weeks to search for missing 3-year-old Aaliyah Lunsford.
My brothers and I have found over the years the closest we can get to where a crime was committed or something tragic took place, the stronger the connection is with the spirits. We knew that Aaliyah's last whereabouts were at her home in Bendale. My brothers and I thought that that would probably be the best place to start. We thought it would be best to hit as many locations as possible, and hopefully we would connect with an area that gave us positive signs as far as what happened to Aaliyah or where her body may possibly be.
Any spirits that may know where Aaliyah Lunsford is or what happened to her, can you say yes or no?
We believe in order to communicate back and forth with the spirits, you need to provide them a way to communicate back and forth with you. And my brothers and I have found over the years the best way to achieve the communication back and forth is by using the spirit box. The spirit box my brothers and I used was developed for us by a researcher over in the UK, and it has been extremely useful when communicating back and forth with spirits.
Can you tell us who hurt Aaliyah Lunsford?
I was more worried about them, especially when every time they closed their eyes, they started screaming and crying and saying no.
Lena was quite pregnant, with twins. I don't think she did that herself. I don't think she disposed of her herself.
Did Lunsford hurt her daughter, yes or no? Can you tell us which direction to go?
Often when you're running a spirit box session, it gives you a glimpse into what possibly took place. So my brothers and I are always looking for clear and direct responses.
We're trying to find this little girl right here. Do you know where her body is? Yes or no? What mobile home? Do you know where she's at? I keep getting a voice that keeps coming across. Are we close? Yes or no? Who got rid of Aaliyah's body? Was it or
I see like branches and stuff on top, so I don't feel like she really like put her in. I feel like she more like hit her body.
are we close? Yes or no?
It'll be fine. Okay, I've got an officer on the way, ma'am. I just need you to calm down, okay? You have checked everywhere in the house? Yes. All the closets? Yes. Under every bed? Yes. Do you have a basement? Yes, it's been checked too. Okay, how about the vehicles outside? It's been checked. That's what I usually go look for.
You guys want to try closer down to the house?
And I know my mom would have came and got her because she done woke me up and stuff. She'd be the only one. Have you called your mother? No, I need to do that. See if she has her. Do you have a phone number for her? Yes.
Mom had temporary custody of the kids, and eventually Lena gained weekend rights to come home with the kids. But once she was released, that's when we noticed a big change in the kids, especially Aaliyah. It was almost like Aaliyah didn't want to go, and she even cried no.
Her mother raised her. She had only had Aaliyah for 4 months. 4 months. And she's dead?
Aaliyah's disappearance definitely did take a big toll on my mom's health. My mom went to her grave not knowing the truth.
911, where's your emergency? This is Lena Lunsford. My mom doesn't have her. She doesn't have her. She doesn't have her. She's coming now. Oh my God.
Who hurt Aaliyah? Was it or Can you tell me how Aaliyah was hurt?
Honestly, I can't get over the feeling that they're involved somehow. I just keep hearing mommy, and I don't know if it's I'm calling out to mommy or, mommy did this kind of thing. You don't know of any place that she would have went there in the community? Is there a friend's house next by or somebody that she plays with? No.
They said she had flu-like symptoms. Now, if you have any kind of a medical, background or medical knowledge, everything that she was exhibiting is signs of a concussion. If she was hit that hard on the head, she's going to be vomiting.
It was almost like Aaliyah didn't want to go. She even cried no. I want to stay here with Mama. We all know that Lena will never give it up as to where she's really at.
Is there any place there in the community, a playground, or does she go to church anywhere there? No. Okay.
I don't think she had the flu. I think it was because she was hit so hard.
She had told the police that Aaliyah wasn't feeling too good, which she wasn't that Friday, the last time that my mom and I had seen her, which was about a week before she came up missing.
This back here is where they would have checked the river. Let's go to that top of the hill by the school where he was seen walking. And I think that area that she pointed out on the map, which I can show you guys when we get over there, is this area. There's her, and then there's like rocks and stuff over there. And that page in her map, she's got a tower, a junkyard, rocks, and a river.
Yeah, this right here, she's showing like a cell phone tower, a dumping area.
And to me, that looked like the road coming off the dam. And there's that little bridge by the dam. You go over that little bridge, and this is the parking area over here, but that's drive out. And then she's talking about a deep side. Anyways, you drive back this other lane on the left side of the river, and it's real steep. And then you come back here, and there's a fence back here. There's a parking area. Would be this one that comes back up in here along the river. And see, we was already back here.
Right.
We was back here on this side.
Coming from there, there is a slope up the hill, and then there is the cemetery.
Day 2 of the Leah Lunsford case. We're getting a nice healthy breakfast at the day's end. Rocky's eating yogurt, healthy choice. Shane went with a bagel, and I went with toast. John's eating like 6 waffles, 2 bagels, 4 yogurts, and I was getting toast.
And you said that there's other children in the residence? Yes. Is she tall enough to where she would be able to reach the door handle? Yes, she is. Okay.
This right here is the road that stuck out to me.
In the days following Aaliyah's disappearance, a witness had came forward and said that she may have possibly seen Ralph walking out towards Middle Run.
Okay, that yellow house right there, she spotted him walking in this area.
During one of the searches, there was a lady that said that she saw Ralph walking late night, middle of the night, over on Middle Run. Middle Run dead ends at the old schoolhouse, and Sunshine Road comes through there. He was walking just before the old school and Sunshine Road in the middle of the night with a hood on. So to my knowledge, the dogs were never taken over in that area. But she was quite adamant that it was Ralph, and he was walking in the middle of the night very suspiciously. It was like literally like they just sat her down, picked her up, sat her down, picked her up. Like they would smell her here, but not here. Or they would smell her over here, but not over there. The rumors were flying that she was being moved. The theory was that they were moving her.
I catch myself looking at her all the time. Just looking back and remembering her smile.
At the time of Aaliyah's disappearance, Ralph had worked for the state park just south of Bendel. So we thought that would be a good area to check out too, just in case Ralph had anything to do with Aaliyah's disappearance.
Aaliyah, who hurt you? Take your body somewhere.
I'm really so sorry that you had to go through this.
There's somebody that's on here talk to us that loves Aaliyah. Can you please help us? We know Aaliyah was a shy girl and may not talk to us. Can you tell me if hurt Aaliyah? All I want is a yes or no. Is it in a box?
Wish that I could hold her, tell her I love her. She made us happy, and I know that we made her happy because she was always telling us how how much she loved us, and she was constantly giving us hugs and kisses. And I just wish I could do that to her.
Aaliyah, who hurt you? Was it mommy or daddy? It's like there's a little girl's voice that keeps coming through, but it's so faint. Are we closer now? Yes or no?
On Carter.
Carter, can you tell us where they took Aaliyah's body to?
Carter.
Did bring Aaliyah's body down here? Can you give us a landmark? Where's her body near?
Carter.
You keep saying Carter. Yeah. Where is Carter? Where is Carter?
Oh my God. Color is her hair. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She weighs approximately 32 to 35 pounds. Maybe a little more.
So that's what I was thinking, because the cell phone tower, and then there's the junkyard, there's be a river, then she would be on the left side. But it's a river with deep sides.
I see her going down the riverbank. I feel like she's like kind of near the water, but not, in the water.
From what she was picking up on, she feels that Aaliyah's body is in this area. And there just so happens to be right next to the town Aaliyah lived in, there's a cell phone tower, and then there's a junkyard right next to it. So what I'm thinking is if we go past that, down by the river, and just see if maybe we can get a stronger connection.
Well, I was wearing whenever she put her back in bed. She had on a pair of purple Dora PJs.
Aaliyah's favorite color is purple. And she loved Dora the Explorer. As a matter of fact, the little Dora Explorer pants that she was wearing, we got her for Christmas. That's what they said she was wearing when she went missing. I'm sorry.
That makes it harder when it's something.
Yeah.
There's the cell tower, and then there's a junkyard just to the left of the cell tower. I mean, you think that would fit that?
Do you know how tall she is? I'm guessing around 3 feet. I'm not for sure right now. Sorry. That's okay.
All this may just lead you kind of over there
into the area.
But she may not have seen the road across the river.
And then if you come on down the road, then you come up in here, then you can circle around that building.
It goes all the way back past where we were at.
Okay.
It runs along
But
the
it just
gravel road.
turns into a big
Yeah,
lake. So then this
the-
would feed in,
The lake,
right?
the lake actually goes all the way into Walkersville.
She was supposedly asleep in her bed, and her mom went to go wake her up that morning and found that she was gone. Her family describes her as someone that would not leave the house unless, an adult was with her.
She looks like such a sad kid. What I feel from her when I look at her, I just keep feeling sadness from her, just sadness. She's showing me that she got grabbed by the arm, seeing like hands around like the upper part of her arm.
She's taking you guys to the back side of the dam. This is the dam.
Yeah.
Somebody had a temper with her. She wasn't a very happy child in the situation that she was in. She makes me feel like her mom kind of had a hard time feeling towards her for whatever reason. Her mom would get frustrated with her at times.
So just to make sure I understand what you guys are saying, the dam that we're talking about is not the big dam.
Yes. Yes, it's a big dam.
Big dam.
So you think somebody would actually drive back to the big dam with all those gates?
Do you know where the big dam is
Yeah.
from their house?
Yeah, we went.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah, it's straight down the road.
honestly, I can't get the feeling that they're involved somehow. I feel that maybe it was an accident.
You know, if Lena was the one that struck her in the head, you know, maybe not even trying to kill her,
Right.
but it was hard enough where she eventually passed away from not getting medical attention. If you look at somebody just being pregnant with a single child at 8 months,
Right.
now you add in twins.
Yeah, and she was quite large. I mean, she was pregnant with twins, you know. She was quite large. So I don't see her doing it herself. Now, Hog Hollow was something that was brought up quite a few times, that they were partying at Hog Hollow the night before Aaliyah went missing.
So what we need to figure out is where we place this.
River with deep sides. Well,
Maybe if we just go out there, we'll see a river with deep sides.
So what we need to do is go hit this area.
Was there anybody else in the residence with you this morning? Any other adults? No, I have 5 kids. Okay, so there's 4 others in the residence. There's 3 right now. Okay. Where is the other one? My son is a visitation with his father. Okay.
To me, the big dam just really didn't seem like an area that anybody would go to dispose of a body. It just seemed like it was too public and too of an open area to take that risk.
She's not a very happy child. She doesn't feel loved. She feels like she's always in trouble. I almost get the feeling kind of like her mom would snap sometimes, because that many kids is hard to handle. She makes it feel like it may have sort of been an accident in some way, and then her mom panicked.
Aaliyah, how did your mom hurt you? Aaliyah, how did your mom hurt you? Aaliyah, did your mother hit you? Brain.
So you got up at 6:30 this morning with her, and she was sick. Yeah, she went back to bed, went back to sleep, and then you lay down also. Yes.
We need to go back towards Bendel. You hear that? Who hurt Aaliyah Lunsford? Was it Orlando?
What I see is her like wrapping her up in a sheet and panics. She panics like, oh crap, like what have I done?
Running the spirit box sessions around Weston and Bendel, we noticed the further we got away from Aaliyah's home, the weaker the responses were coming across the spirit.
The moment I saw her picture, it was just like extreme sadness. Like she's never really truly been happy in her only 3 years of existence.
why her? What did she do that was so bad? Nothing. She was a baby. She was a baby. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's one thing to be a parent and kill your child, but it's a whole nother level of evil when you can kill your child and deprive them of a funeral. To throw their body away like trash, what kind of person would that take? You know, that's true evil.
Aaliyah given, the thing that she deserved the most, which was a proper burial, not laying out in the woods somewhere. I just want Aaliyah to be put to rest. And Lena, or whoever, Lena and Ralph, Lena and whoever had a hand in this, to be brought to justice.
I feel like, her mom used to lose her temper with her a lot. For whatever reason, that's why she's not a very happy child. She doesn't feel loved. She feels like she's always in trouble. Because when I look at the mom, I definitely see she could be capable. You know what I mean? With the way that her energy is. I honestly feel like her mom was bipolar. The kids did see something, but they were so afraid of their mom.
Did any of them see her this morning? What time did they get up? They came in here, I'm not sure, maybe around 7:30, and came in here in my room with me.
Whatever they saw it. If it was 2 a.m, they saw it.
That evening, we decided to leave the hotel room and go out and run a few more spirit box sessions just to see if we could make a stronger connection with the spirits at night.
Did Ralph walk over to this area, yes or no? Can you tell me, is Aaliyah Lunsford's body in this area, yes or no? Aaliyah, if you can hear me, what was your favorite cartoon?
Since we knew that Aaliyah's grandmother, Joanne, had passed away about 2 years after Aaliyah went missing, our hope was that we could make that connection with Joanne.
Joanne, we're trying to find out what happened to your granddaughter. Is she in this area? The female. Which way do we need to go? Joanne, is Aaliyah's body out here by the old school? I wonder if she had a raspy voice. A raspy female voice keeps coming across here. If you go straight over that hill, right there, this is the area that Ralph was supposedly spotted in. Now, could it have been mistaken identity? Early that morning, in the early hours, he was spotted walking out in this area if that was truly him. And it's only a 10, 15-minute walk over this hill back to where Aaliyah lived.
Where their house was, if you walked across the road and up the hill to the high school and down the back hill, there's Middle Run. So it wasn't that far of a distance.
Joanne, was Ralph ever in this area, yes or no? Okay, let's go in for a break. My hands are frozen. I'm going to ask you one more time. Do we need to go left or right? Left.
I just want Aaliyah to be put to rest. Aaliyah given, the thing that she deserved the most, which was a proper burial, not laying out in the woods somewhere.
With Aaliyah's case and with a lot of the other missing person cases, the families never get that opportunity to say goodbye, and the victims are never given that proper burial. So we believe it's hard for them to be at rest.
My hope is to find Aaliyah, bring her home, give her the right burial, make sure that everyone involved in this whole thing is brought to justice.
With a lot of these cases, the more and more time goes on, especially with Aaliyah's case, it has been several years since she went missing. We know that everything is stacked against us to actually find Aaliyah's body. But we also realize all it takes is to be in the right location at the right time. And all you need to do is find one clue that would link that area to Aaliyah.
There were foot searches from the house at Bendale all the way up to the dam. There were foot searches in Vedas. There were foot searches all the way from Bendale to the state hospital. Anywhere we could think to go and crawl into, and we went there. We searched. Nothing.
Aaliyah will tell us one way or another what had happened to her. She was a good girl. She was a loving girl. And
Aaliyah, your mother can no longer hurt you. Are you afraid of your mommy? Can you tell us who hurt Aaliyah? Is it in the water? Aaliyah, who hurt you? Aaliyah, who hurt you?
it really hurts me. Because I know that I'll never be able to see her happy again. I'll never be able to give her hugs and kisses.
Okay, can you look outside and see the officer? I'm looking.
I'll never be able to hear her laugh. You see her play and grow up. And so because Alina just had to do this.
Oh my God. Yes, I see one out here. Okay, I'll go ahead and let you offline so you can go talk to him. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, bye.
With winter quickly approaching Weston, my brothers and I are forced to leave the area. Our plans are to return in the spring and continue the search for Aaliyah Lunsford.
We're attempting to communicate with any spirits that know what happened to Aaliyah Lunsford. Can you hear us, yes or no? Can you tell us, is Aaliyah's body out in this area? Joanne, can you hear us? Was Aaliyah's body brought to this area, yes or no? Can you give us the name of the town? Can you tell us what your body's near? Is it out near Hogs Hollow? Can you tell me if Aaliyah was being moved? I was thinking it said no. Is Aaliyah's body in Vedas? Is Aaliyah's body out towards Ralph's house? Yes or no? Is it near the cemetery? Can you tell us what's near Vedas? Is there even a school in Vedas? Is the school near the fire department? Yes or no? Can you tell us, is Aaliyah's body near water? Is it off a gravel road? Guess they're all gravel roads out there. Is her body inside something? Joanne, is Aaliyah, was she brought out to where your trailer sat? Joanne, is Aaliyah's body near your trailer? Is it close to Ralph's house? You hear a softer voice come through every now and then. I think that's what we need to be paying attention to. Can you give us a landmark Where's her body near? Keep saying Carter.
Josh gonna get attacked back here. Josh, watch it. There's bear tracks back here. Bear tracks. Not real old.
You think she would have walked uphill? I'm just thinking both those ways goes straight up. So I can't see her being 8 months pregnant with twins and carrying a basket. The one girl had walked like 1,500 feet into the woods with her, and then she stopped, and then Lena kept going. And we're not even 100 feet right now.
Joanne, do you know where Leah's body is?
Let's just say what I think you do.
Joanne, if that was you, is it at this church? Is it the other church where the school or where the cemetery is? I need a clear answer, yes or no. Is Aaliyah's grave right here? Drink that out.
Huh?
It's not like it said it's not.
It's not.
Then, is it at a church? Yes or no? Is Aaliyah's grave at a church? Yes or no?
Major news in a missing persons case that's mystified everyone around here. Just hours ago, Lena Lunsford was arrested and charged with the death of her child, Aaliyah.
Those who were holding out hope that Aaliyah might be alive somewhere were wrong.
In July of 2018, Lena Lunsford was sentenced to life in prison plus 40 years for the murder of her daughter, Aaliyah Lunsford. A witness to the murder came forward and claimed Lena hit her daughter Aaliyah in the head with a wooden bed slat.
Aaliyah, how did your mom hurt you?
At some point during the night, Aaliyah passed away due to her head trauma. The following morning, Lena placed Aaliyah's lifeless body into a clothes hamper and drove to Vegas.
Is it in a box?
Walked Leah's body about 1,500 feet into the woods before discarding of her body. Despite a 3-day search by hundreds of law enforcement officials, the body of Aaliyah Lunsford was never recovered, and still to this day, the whereabouts of Aaliyah's body remains a mystery.
Attempting to communicate with any spirits that know what happened to Andrew, Alexander, and her skeleton. Did John Skelton murder his...
Yes.
Do you mind if I record the conversation? Knowing your son, do you think that's something that he's capable of?
No. I don't think so. Not at all.
Tanya and John Skelton were the proud parents of 3 little boys, Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton. But on the evening of Thanksgiving 2010, their world would be turned upside down. The night of Thanksgiving 2010, while at visitation with their father, John Skelton, the three brothers mysteriously vanished. I mean, is it plausible to you that they have done something with the kids?
Your idea, it makes sense.
With the boys, can you kind of describe personality, each one of the boys?
Yeah. I think this is probably my favorite part.
For the past 10 years, Tanya has desperately been searching for her three boys.
Andrew, oldest son, very, very intelligent child. Wanted to be a teacher. Would have been the most amazing teacher. And then Alex came along. Kind and caring, heart of gold, always there to lend a hand to the friend. Tanner, he had just started pre-K. He was Alex's shadow. He was learning, full of life. All three of them. They loved life, always together.
Morenci, Michigan is this beautiful small town that sits on the Ohio-Michigan border. It's not really a place that you'd expect something this tragic to take place. On the outside, the Skelton family really seemed like your average all-American family. But on the inside, everything was falling apart.
I don't think anything could come that drastic in his life where he would kill the kids.
It was in September 2010 when Tanya had filed for divorce with her husband, John. And I believe this is what triggered the downward spiral with John Skelton.
This court has decided the complaint for divorce as between Tanya Lynn Skelton and John Russell Skelton.
Was all about him and how I betrayed him. I filed for divorce. I did this. I was the bad person. He didn't listen to anything. I knew it wasn't going to work, but for my sons, I was trying.
He was not always the most logical thinking individual when he was put under pressure. And the longer that they're gone, the better it is for her.
When my brothers and I first came across the Skelton brothers case, it really touched us personally because the fact that they're three brothers and we're three brothers, and also we were about the same age when our parents went through their divorce. What reasons do you have to lead you to believe that the kids are safe?
The facts and details of that, they will not divulge anywhere.
Thinking about me, Josh, and Rocky, how close we are and how close they had to be. We would definitely do anything to try to help the family.
As the oldest brother, I really don't know what I'd do if one of them was to actually come up missing.
It was just shortly before Thanksgiving 2010 when John had contacted Tanya to see if he could have the kids over the Thanksgiving break.
Ma'am, could you please state when the minor children were last with you?
They were last with me the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
We had agreed to give him parenting time because when you give a little, it looks better in the eyes of the judge.
Tanya, I believe, wanting to be a mother, agreed to let John have the kids. In no way could she have ever expected John's true motives for wanting the kids that night. Our main goal is the boys' safety and to figure out if these boys are alive.
You think that you want to take and find these boys and get them back to their mother where they should be, you're as full of damn henhouse.
John had agreed to drop the kids back off to Tanya that Friday after Thanksgiving around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Tanya had contacted John earlier that Friday morning to see if she could pick the kids up early.
He took them for Thanksgiving and was to return them to my home around 3 p.m. on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and that has not happened.
I had called him that morning on that Friday, the 26th. And I said, hey, is there any way that I can get the boys sooner than 3 o'clock? He starts with another set of lies.
I spoke with him on that Friday. He indicated he had given them to a woman named Joanne Taylor and that she would be returning them to me.
So it was a short time later when John contacted Tanya and told her that he tried to commit suicide.
I talked to him on the phone because he was at Fulton County Health Center being treated for an injury.
John's story then was that he was trying to kill himself, and the rope broke, and he broke his ankle.
At this point, Tanya starts to freak out. She knows that the stories just aren't matching up. She then begins to question him about where the boys are.
He told several stories. He gave them to an underground organization. But the worst was that he killed them and put them in a dumpster. Nice. That's the respect you have for your kids.
He said that he gave the boys to this underground organization that is supposed to harbor children that are in danger. Tanya contacts local law enforcement to report her boys missing.
Have you requested that these children be returned to you?
Yes, I have.
Has that been complied with?
No, it has not. Some of the strange behavior just wasn't setting well with me for the fact that he had done this. He called to tell me they were transferring him to Toledo. I don't care. Where are my sons?
The John that I know, no, in his right mind, he would not ever harm his boys, ever, 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 ever. But inside of each one of us, there's a piece that, with the right circumstances, could snap.
On Wednesday, November 24th, John Skelton left a very disturbing post on Facebook. I love my wife very much, and may God and Tanya forgive me.
A couple weeks before that, John had been acting a little weird, a little different.
In the weeks and months leading up to the disappearance of these three boys, neighbors and friends of John Skelton say that he started to act very strange. He really didn't seem like himself. He seemed depressed, withdrawn, and physically had let himself go. I believe at this point in his life, John Skelton had completely checked out of reality.
Where would he have put them? If you think about where would he put them? And I haven't heard one theory yet of where he would have put them that makes any sense.
Do you have any proof that the three boys are still alive?
I won't tell you.
The law enforcement went to John Skelton's home to serve a search warrant. When they went to the front door, they noticed that the front door was barricaded.
He had to kick the door in to get in there. And the house was destroyed.
Upon entering, the law enforcement discovered that almost everything in the house was completely destroyed. Everything inside that house that could be broken was broken.
Smashed every piece of wooden anything that he could. If it was glass, it was busted. I mean, it was destruction everywhere.
It appeared to me that the only reason John Skelton completely destroyed everything inside the house is he was trying to completely destroy everything in Tanya's life. Not only was John Skelton going to go as far as destroying everything that Tanya owned, but he was going to take it one step further and completely destroy the three things that Tanya loved, her three boys. And John was going to take that from her. And if it ever did come forth that, the kids were murdered, is that something that would shock you?
Shock? No. But man does to man. You don't even have half the ideas in the world of what shock is.
Mr. Skelton, do you intend today to comply with the court's order?
I don't know what the kids are, so no.
You are not able to comply with the court order, or that you are unwilling to comply with the order?
Unable. My brothers and I had reached out to Sergeant Brewer, a detective with the Michigan State Police. We were hoping that he could provide us with a starting point. There's no evidence that this organization exists. There's no evidence that Joanne Taylor ever existed. Through all of his cell phones, computer searches, and everything, there's no proof that he was ever in contact with any organization.
Sir, do you know the location or whereabouts of your children?
No, I do not.
Do you know who does know the whereabouts or location of your children?
No, I do not.
When was the last time you saw your children?
On the night of Thanksgiving. It was in September 2011, almost a year after the boys went missing, that John Skelton was sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison for unlawful imprisonment. There's no evidence that proves that they're alive.
Yeah, but the father got all the information.
He doesn't have any information.
He knows who the organization is.
He didn't say who the organization was. It just seems strange to me that, somebody would want to spend 10 or 15 years in prison if they knew where the kids were. mean, do you see where I'm coming from?
You and I are going to might as well get the two opinions out right here, you stupid. His mother was molesting kids.
And if we think the kids are alive, then let's just turn around and go home. There's no sense in coming up here. There's no evidence whatsoever. Investigators believe John murdered his sons and hid their bodies. And if the bodies are ever found, additional charges could be filed. It seems like you guys are pretty convinced that the boys are still alive.
I have no doubts.
Nobody's going to spend 15 years in prison if the kids are alive. But you will spend 15 years in prison if you know the kids are dead, or you're going to walk away in 15 years.
And where were they when you saw them last?
They were at my house.
And did they leave from your home?
Yes.
And were they accompanied by anybody?
Yes.
Who were they accompanied by?
A person in a van.
Pardon me?
A person in a van.
You gave them to a person in a van.
Yes.
Did you know the person?
I knew the organization, but I didn't know the person. No.
What organization?
The organization that took them.
What is the name of the organization that
I'd
took
rather
them?
not say.
Pardon me?
I'd rather not say.
Well, you understand that your failure to cooperate in this regard is in fact an apparent contempt of court in the face of my directing you to respond.
I don't understand.
Investigators and prosecutors believe John murdered his sons and hid their bodies.
Would somebody really spend 15 years in prison if they had a way to prove that they were innocent?
Well, John would, because he thinks that he's protecting them. John has a history of trying to handle things on his own, and it doesn't turn out well.
It was also discovered John never attempted to take his own life. There was no bruising or burn marks found around his neck.
As far as John trying to commit suicide, nah. He was trying to do a diversion. There's no way he'd kill himself.
For 6 years, normal investigative work has not solved this case. So now 3 paranormal investigators are working together to try to give a voice to these 3 young brothers whose dad may have tried to silence them forever.
And if he needed to protect the boys, there were so many different avenues to do this, rather than this. This was a stupid, stupid thing to do.
Our goal with these cases is not to prove guilt or innocence, but to help uncover evidence that would help lead law enforcement in the right direction. Law enforcement reviewed John Skelton's cell phone records. They found out that Friday morning about 4:19 a.m., his cell phone showed him at home. 4 minutes later at 4:23 a.m., John Skelton was on the move. At 5:02 a.m. that morning, it showed that John's cell phone was pinging down in the Holiday City, Ohio area. And there were no further pings after that point until John Skelton arrived home around 6:46 a.m. that morning. It was roughly about 25 to 30 minutes from John Skelton's house in Morenci, Michigan, down to Holiday City, Ohio. So that would only leave an additional hour for him to dispose of the bodies. As far as the cell phone with John Skelton, there's always that possibility that he drove south just to throw law enforcement off, or it's possible that he was just that stupid and left his cell phone on. Since we knew that John Skelton's phone had pinged down in the Harrison Lake State Park area, we decided that that would be a good place to start. We would ask the spirits questions, and hopefully they would direct us on where to go. We're trying to communicate with anybody that knows anything about Andrew, Tanner, or Alexander Skelton.
Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner, we ask that you come forward. We know that your dad did something bad. Your mom holds out hope that you're still alive. These 3 brothers that I'm with, they can give you the tools that you can use to speak to us. So please come forward. Talk to us. I think everyone wants closure, and I know that you 3 boys would want closure for your mom as well. Let us bring your bodies back. Let us know where your dad took you.
A lot of people believe that in order to communicate back and forth with spirits, you need to provide them with a way to communicate back and forth with you. And my brothers and I do that by using the spirit box. We're trying to communicate with anybody that knows anything about Andrew, Tanner, or Alexander Skelton. Can you say yes or no? Andrew, did your dad give you to some other group of people? Can you tell me if they were buried around here? Are they near a river? Can you tell us the name of the river? Did John Skelton know his boys? Hey, we'll go back and listen to this stuff, but it sounded like it said Skelton. No, that was a male. Which direction do we need to go? North?
Yeah.
How far north? Have to stay kind of close to me, but listen. You said go north. Which road do we need to take? Are they near water? You say they're close. Did John Skelton murder his kids? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you know where he took the bodies to? Yes or no? How did he kill the 3 boys? Did he break their necks?
Found in John Skelton's home were straps, ropes, and nooses, all which could be used to strong. And the only relative search done on John's computer was a search for how to break a neck.
John Skelton claims the web search on neck breaking was research for his boys. John also claims the noose found in his van was part of a project, but John was unable to describe what this project was.
John Skelton is a very selfish, all about John type of person. And I learned that a lot more after my sons disappeared.
You know, with the web searches on the neck breaking, do you find any of that strange?
No, I don't find anything strange about that. To me, it's no big deal.
Are the bodies together? I thought I heard bodies together. Did you hear that?
That's what I thought.
Andrew Skelton, can you communicate with us? Yes or no? Did he strangle them?
In the drum hole.
Sounded like it's in the hole.
In the drum hole.
So what if we just head north? If we see an area.
My thing is, I think we should just go and keep until they leave us.
Okay, but we're going to be running out of daylight, is what I'm saying. And from what we could tell, we got information telling us to go north. And then we got like the words water and creek several times. So we're going to head north and do another spirit box session.
At the first location that we went to, we got over and over responses telling us to go north. It just kept saying, go north, go north, go north.
After we wrapped up the spirit box session at Harrison Lake State Park, we decided to head north up to the Morenci, Michigan area.
You got to walk back that way, Josh.
We're definitely north of where we were at, so.
Look right there after that. I see this river that kind of looks like a snake. It was a railroad track going across it and big wooded area, and didn't look like many houses around it. So I confronted Josh about this, and the funny thing about it was Josh already found this on the map.
Our plans were by Lime Creek Road was to do another spirit box session. Again, ask the spirits questions, and then hopefully they would direct us on which way to go. You do have it right. Okay, we came north. Is this the radio? Yes or no? Which way do we need to walk? Left. Do we need to go down towards the creek? Did you hear that? Are we in the area? Yes or no?
Yes. Is the body stuff down here?
Are the bodies down here?
Left.
You tell us when to stop, okay? The spirits at the railroad tracks kept telling us to go left, was taking us closer and closer down towards the river.
The EVPs that we was getting was leading us farther down the railroad tracks, closer to the river.
Running the ghost box session, you don't get a lot of responses until you actually get to the location where the crime was actually committed.
Are we close to where the bodies are? Yes or no?
No.
Which way do we need to go? Tell us when to stop.
Now. Now.
Is this it? Do I go straight or is it behind me? You gotta go down there with me? Okay, we're down here. Which way do we need to go? So we're doing good so far. Are we close? Yes or no? Close. If you look, there's trash down here. You're close again. Tell me when to stop. Yes. Can you tell me, are the Skelton brothers' bodies down here? Andrew, we're trying to figure out what happened to you and your brothers. Can you talk to us, please? Do we need to go right or left? Right. Could be right here. And this is a concrete area too. Concrete, trash, railroad tracks, road, river. Are they in this trash right here? Yes or no? Are they buried? You know, the thing is, you have 6 years of vegetation. Because he's not going to drag, I wouldn't think, Bodger. I mean, is it possible that he could have just tossed them? Okay, do I need to go up the hill or stay right here?
Got it.
Do I go right, left, or straight? Straight. What I can do, guys, is look. Pull that real hard. Is it right here? Yes or no? It's got to be something here. Do I need to go down or up? Sound like a kid scream. Okay, you tell us when to stop again, please.
If you know any flowers, you know, just something that looks weird, maybe it's a sign. So make sure you look out for anything.
Can you give us a sign, something to look for? What are the bodies near? Okay, let's work our way out of here. I got an idea. Andrew, did your dad kill you before you left the house? Yes or no? That was a kid. Clear kid came across there. Andrew, we're going to bring help back down here with us, okay? Said don't leave.
Hey, here's fabric.
All right.
Some fabric.
Can you grab it?
I ain't touch it. Grab me that stick right here.
Maybe it was the father's pants.
Give me a better stick. Hey, Josh.
What?
Did they ever say what he was wearing, or?
I don't remember. I don't even think they know that. You fine?
Some shorts, or like jean shorts that look like they've been cut off. I was trying to see if there's any moves on here. That's what I want to see if I find. Them's 30. Just watch behind me. Here's somebody who's down. What? What is that?
Looks like it's Spider-Man. Like, is that like underwear? Huh?
I don't know. No, it's a mitten.
Oh my
It's been
God.
freaking cold.
No.
Gosh,
Holy.
it's mitten.
It looked like Spider-Man, or it's got like, like the red and blue of Spider-Man.
White and blue. Searching and looking, I noticed it looked like some cloth. So I went ahead and I took a couple sticks and I was messing around with it, and I pulled out a pair of jeans that looked like they'd been there for a long time, all wore out and everything. So the farther I dug down, I pull out a little glove. You don't want to think it is theirs. You want to help the family to get closure. Talking to the mom, that's what it sounds like she wants, is just a closure of finding these three boys.
You gotta come closer. I'm not getting on the stick. Just try to step on top of them. Yeah, right. Instead of us searching this area, is if we can give the detectives enough evidence and they bring a search party and cadaver dogs down here, I mean, they could get a hit quicker than us.
I believe totally in my heart that we have enough evidence from the spirits talking to us that we need to get a search party going, as fast as possible.
Andrew, are your brothers with you? I don't know if that was gas or just static. We found out talking with Tanya that was an area that John had taken the boys on previous occasions. We also found out that Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner were very into superheroes, and that one of the boys did have a pair of Spider-Man gloves.
I want to see them again. I want them to be alive. But I also know that if they're not, I know where they're at, and he will never be able to touch them again. I'll never have to worry about that.
So we just left the area down by the railroad tracks. This is north of where we were at earlier. And when we got down to the area, I mean, the ghost box clearly said to stop. Plus, if that thing said north to a river, and hell, it may have even said this road, railroad tracks, it just kind of mentally make note of what roads we're on. Once we wrapped up the spirit box session at the railroad tracks, we decided to head back to the hotel and go over all the information we had documented that day.
A lot of times it's hard to pick up on what's coming across the spirit box. So it's important for us to take some time to go over everything.
What proof do we have? And I don't think I'm going to get that from you, of course.
How would you have done it? Where would you have turned to?
Okay, this is our hotel for the night. Unfortunately, the one town that we picked, they have a dog show going on. Like, all the rooms are booked. Rocky's trying to park. Which direction do we need to go?
North.
North. How far north? You said go north. Which road do we need to take?
There's something right there too.
Did John Skelton murder his kids? Yes or no?
Yes.
You
Grills. Yeah.
know where he took the bodies to? Yes or no? Which way is north from where we're standing right now? Can you tell us which road? And after we went over all the evidence, we thought it'd be worth our time to go back out to that area and do another spirit box session. The people that we were communicating with earlier, are you here with us? Yes or no? Can you tell us who killed Andrew Skelton? John. Their father. Where did they go over at? Bridge. Are the Skelton brothers alive or dead? Person dead. Do you miss your mommy? Who is the woman your dad gave you guys to? There was no woman. Did you hear that?
There's always that possibility that when we do go back up there to search for these children, that we do find them. All we can do is pray and hope and pray that we can just give the closure that the family, the community, the town, that everybody needs.
To John Skelton. John, if you're watching, there are things that I want to talk to you about. Not just about our sons. Us. What went wrong? Can you ever find it inside of you that you and I could sit down face to face and talk? This has gone on long enough. And it's time to start healing. It's time to get answers. And if you're willing to talk, so am I.
So on the second day, we really wanted to get back to the area out by the train tracks and spend more time searching.
This is the area that we believe we got the best responses. So we're going to search in this area. And then Rocky and Sean are going to head over to the other side.
Who's in the right spot, Josh or Sean?
The good thing is that wire's got a distinctive sound.
Am I getting close?
Sure.
I thought I heard it say very close. Tanner, I don't know if you understand what we're doing out here, but I just want to let you know, okay? There's so many people that's really worried and want to know where you guys are. So if you could help me, it'll make a lot of people happy. So Tanner, you know we're three brothers too. And each one of us would do anything for each other. We would never stop. Can you help me find your guys' bodies? That's why it comes across so faint, you know what I mean? Hey, boys, if you can hear me, did your dad bury your bodies down here? Did you hear that? Yeah. I think you've got so many questions that you need answers for in so little time. Are we on the right side?
How you guys doing?
We're getting some responses, but definitely not as strong as they was on your side.
Okay, come back over to the other side. We'll try it over here since I'm doing all the manual labor.
Okay. While running the spirit box session on the other side of the tracks, we really didn't get the feeling this was the right area. We decided to head back over to the other side and help Josh search.
Andrew, can you give us a sign where you guys at? The bank. Can we see something if we walk along the bank? Yes or no? Let's check along the bank.
But there's no DNA evidence that any crime happened. I think they're hidden very well. It's very, very difficult to find them, and there is no trail to follow once they're in there. If your child's missing, you never give up. You know, it's hard for them to move on.
My brothers and I decided to run a spirit box session in Holiday City, Ohio. We wanted to clear this area since we knew John's cell phone had pinged in this area the night his boys went missing. We're attempting to communicate with any spirits that know what happened to Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton from Morenci, Michigan. Is Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton near Holiday City, Ohio? Yes or no? Are they in Morenci, Michigan? Are the Skelton brothers in a wooded area? Are their bodies on land? Are the Skelton brothers buried? Are we close to the Skelton brothers right now? Yes or no?
There was a lot of sadness. What was deemed normal medical practice was horrendous.
There are some legends about this place. There's something dark. Some people say something demonic in here. I get past the stairs and I get palpitations and I can't breathe properly. He's holding those 5 men spirits down there.
Does that upset you? If you want Dave out of your cell, push something over. Get as close as you can. Are you shitting me?
I don't.
Hello. Whoa, whoa.
Who was that?
How did that just die, though? I don't know.
Treatments include antipsychotic drugs and electroconvulsive therapy.
What the f*** was that?
Criminally insane means a prisoner who has become mentally ill whilst in the prison system. We have men here who have murdered on the basis of serious mental illness and will kill again.
All right, Ryan, we are here in Ararat, Victoria.
Yeah, it was just a couple of nights ago that we investigated the Airedale Lunatic Asylum. Tonight, we are going to investigate a building that was actually repurposed from a jail into a separate ward for the criminally insane. Those that were considered too dangerous to be housed in the Airedale Lunatic Asylum were sent here to be housed in more of prison-like conditions. And they say the spirits of some of those men might still be here to this day.
That's right, we're here at J Ward.
J Ward is quite an interesting beast. It has a long history. It has a lot of stories. And our friends, Allison and Cag from Adelaide's Haunted Horizons and Amy and Jerry Crypt, say this is one of their favorite places to investigate in Australia.
You ready to get inside and get some more information, some more history, some more creepy stories?
Let's do it. Let's go inside and find out what happened here.
Let's go.
Okay, this building, this block was built. It's called the Ararat County Jail, and it was built in 1859. Ararat County Jail was built because we had a gold rush in Victoria, and we had 50,000 people come and live in Ararat, in Tent City, we called it. And with that, there was lots and lots of crime. So they decided to build a jail to house the criminals that were arrested. During the jail days here, we had 3 executions. We had 3 hangings. The first one was Andrew Varr. The second one was Robert Francis Burns, and we think he's our first mass murderer. And he was hung here. And the night before his hanging, the priest went in to see him. And he said to the priest, "I've been a bad man all my life. I've killed many a man along the river. And now I have to go meet my maker." The priest told the governor, and the governor informed the police, and they did an investigation. They found 8 bodies in shallow graves along the Victorian border, 2 in New South Wales and 3 in South Australia. And they accredited all those murders to him. Now, the last one was Henry Morgan. Now, he came over as a 17-year-old from Tasmania, and he had a magnificent dig, made a fortune, and he moved to Warrnambool. There he met his lovely girl, and he married her. 20 years of marriage he had, 15 children. Not enough for him, he wanted more. He fell in love and was besotted with a girl that used to come in from a farm, and she used to sell her eggs and milk in town and then go home. And he came out of the pub one day, he spotted the young lady walking home, and he got on his horse, he rode up to her, he took her to the outskirts of Warrnambool. There he had his way with her, and then he murdered her with a penknife. Now, the day of his hanging, people came in here, 30 of them came in and stood and watched him be hanged. Once the trapdoor fell and he fell and his neck snapped, they all clapped and cheered. "Hooray," they yelled, "hooray, that bastard's dead." Because Margaret Nolan was 10 years old. So he was hung here for that.
Hey PQ fam, Amy and Jared here from Amy's Crypt. We're going to be giving you a tour around J Ward. Tonight, Paranormal Quest, I think you're in for a big treat with this one. We're going to kick things off by taking you probably to the darkest, scariest place here. This one freaks me out, and I know that Jared's terrified of it.
This place, just to look at it will give you the creeps.
If you're tired of spending a ton on all your streaming services, then welcome to Philo. Say goodbye to cable boxes, long contracts, and endless searches for something to watch, and hello to more than 70 channels and thousands of movies for just $25 a month. Your favorite networks and shows live and on demand, plus an unlimited DVR to save them all? Philo's got you covered. With the free, so sit back, relax, and save hundreds. Visit Philo.
I know there has been a death right where Dave is standing on these stairs here.
Oh.
So one of the final governors of the jail here actually had a heart attack and passed away here. They say that his spirit lingers, but they do say there's another spirit that's a bit darker here that lingers in the room behind you guys, and that one looks like right out of a Saw movie, this room.
Yeah, this is the
No
underground.
joke.
This is the underground bathroom.
My goodness. What the hell is this?
So you're probably wondering why there is a bathroom underground like this. And I am too, sorry. What was the improvement on the bathrooms?
Down in the old kitchen, you go through a door and you can go into an old bathroom, which was the governor's bathroom, because none of the bluestone buildings had any running water, gas, electricity, heating or anything in the jail. So the governor would go down and have a bath once a week down in that little bathroom. There are some legends about this place. There's something, dark. Some people say something demonic in here. A spirit nicknamed the Butcher. He went out to get some lambs and left his wife and girls at home. And when he got home, his wife and girls had been and murdered by a gang of 5 people that had come into town. So the police managed to get them and arrest them. He went to the governor after a few months and said, look, I can help the cooks cut the meat up, so they've just got to cook it. And he said, oh, that's great. He said, but I need someone to help me. Oh, just pick a prisoner. They'll help. So he did. A couple of days later, he went back to the governor. I'm really sorry, but I can't find him anywhere. He's buggered off. And he said, well, just pick another one. So he did. And he picked another one. And he did. And that went on 5 times. And then one of the guards realised there were some prisoners missing. They found that the 5 men who had killed the butcher's wife and children had all disappeared. And he was taking them into the kitchen and killing them and chopping them up and sending their meat into the kitchen to be cooked for the prisoners to eat. This is all unsubstantiated history, so it's sort of become folklore, but whether there's any sort of relevance to it is hard to say. But there are rumours that people were killed in this room, prisoners. And last time I investigated here, actually I spent a bit of alone time in here, and it genuinely freaked me out. He's holding those 5 men's spirits down there. And I've been a J Ward representative here for 8 years, and I have never gone into that bathroom. I get past the stairs and I get palpitations and I can't breathe properly. And as an asthmatic, that's a problem for me. And I've never gone in it. And I do day tours, I do ghost tours, and I do paranormal here. And I still don't go into that bathroom.
It all started when I had a hard time fitting my 18. Thought I had just put on a few extra inches over the years, but when I stepped on the scale and saw the number, I knew something had to change. But I was afraid of being judged by others for my appearance. After I retired, I moved to the beach like always dreamed. The reflection in the mirror only seemed to get worse and worse as I got older.
So it started out as a jail. It lasted for about 25 years because the gold ran out and people moved away. So it closed in 1886 and it reopened in 1887 to house the criminally insane from Arradale, which is the big lunacy department that was built in Ararat. And they had nowhere to house these criminally insane men who were quite a danger to the people up there. So the government reopened this in 1887 and it became known as the J Ward. So this is kind of where they had spill off of the very violent, dangerous people that weren't integrating with the population over at Arradale, right? They brought them here into the cell block. There are other areas of the psychiatric hospital, but this was, the original jail down here.
So basically you're talking about people that are dealing with very severe mental illnesses, people that need mental health treatment, but they were treated as though they were inmates, being locked in cells and only having certain recreation time and moving almost like prisoners throughout this building.
And I have been told by one of the nurses that used to work here that if anyone played up and they took more than 2 nurses to calm them down and they had to go and get a needle for them to give them an injection, as the nurses came back with the needle, they would bang it on the wall as they went past to make the needle blunt, just to remind them not to carry on again, otherwise they'll get it again with a blunt needle.
This right here was George. Here you go, Dave. This is going to be what we were talking about earlier. We read about this guy.
George was approached in a park by a man and asked if he'd like to come into the toilet with him. And George sort of stepped back and said, well, look, I'll come back at 8 o'clock at night. So he did. And when he walked in, he killed the man and he cut his penis off and put it in the ladies' toilets. And then he stood outside the toilets waiting for the police to come and arrest him. So George was very homophobic. And of course, they charged him with the murder and they sent him in here because of his mental issues. And of course, can you imagine him being in here with the boys once they knew he was homophobic? You know, they'd be going, here you go, George, you know, how'd you like a bit? And he was always fighting. So they removed his 4 teeth at the front to stop him from biting people. When they went outside in the garden, he was always put behind a certain fence to keep him away from all the other men because he had a big list of the inmates that he was going to kill and also the staff that he was going to kill. And he almost killed a man in here, but the staff grabbed him very quickly and stopped it.
And how are you today, George? I'm not happy, Mr. Michael. Why is that? Mr. Michael, the doctor, the one who shot under the near the tree with you, he punished me years ago on an illusionary tablets. Beside him, the patients, they're all my enemies. They fight me every day.
And any sort of advances or any sort of inclination that other inmates or other patients were making advances on him, he would become very violent and confrontational. And he even lost his eye in a fight with one of the other patients. So, and apparently this was his cell, and I guess he died here.
Okay, so this here is West Wing, and Jared and I didn't get as much of an opportunity to investigate here, but I definitely think this is a place to check out. So a couple of spirits here. One is a matron, still making the rounds. And then I've also heard about a man who sort of appears in here, but no one actually knows who he is. He's a bit mysterious. But this would be a place for very visual sort of sightings.
We've had the longest incarcerated man in the world here, and his name was Charles Fossard, and he used to see a cloud come down from the sky with a mule on it, and that mule's name was Lazarus, and Lazarus told him every day to kill him. So he ended up going next door to the neighbour, and he killed the neighbour and walked away with his gumboots. And when the police were informed that there was a body and they investigated, they found that Charles had the gumboots and he was wearing them around town. And when the judge asked him why he did it, he just said, well, the cloud comes down and Lazarus tells me I have to kill, so I did. So he sent him here at the governor's pleasure, which meant that he couldn't stand trial because of his mental issues. So he was here for 71 years incarcerated, which is a very long time to be locked up.
Step up. Welcome to the shower block. This has been here for quite some time. The nurses used to control the temperature of the water, and then they take the handle off so none of the other patients accidentally scald themselves, anything like that. At one point, they only got bath about once a month or so. So in here, we've come in with different groups over the years. But one particular night, we were running a spirit box. We had it sitting over there, and we were also on the edge of the bathtub. We had a very clear, we asked, who's here? They come up with Mike, very clearly, and then followed by and then it went really, really quiet. It was like whatever's manipulating it was unaware how it worked. And then when realised that we could hear, it was a complete surprise to us all. It can be very active.
I know you've been coming here for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Do you believe that J Ward has spirits that stick around here? And if so, why do you think they stay here?
It's a lot of history on site as both a jail and as an asylum. There was a lot of sadness, a lot of what was deemed normal medical practice was horrendous. And there's a lot of residual left over. There's a lot of replaying of that fear, I feel. But then you get these intelligent responses as well. And I feel a lot of them have been institutionalised most of their life, that they considered this home. So, yeah, some of them I feel they're happy for us to be here, others not so much.
Gary Webb, he was made a ward of the state and he was put in foster homes. And he ran wild until he was 17 and he went down to Rye, which is a town in Melbourne. And he held up a lady and asked her to, give me all your money. And she said no. And so he shot her. They arrested him and he went to the magistrates and they sent him to Pentridge. And he was there and he saw, he chatted with a fellow called Chopper Reed. Chopper's renowned for having his ears removed when he was in Pentridge. So he was a bit of a crazy guy anyway. But he was like a big bikey guy that was always notorious man. And he said to him one day, I can't stand it in here, I have to get out, what can I do? And so Chopper said to him, harm yourself and you'll end up in hospital and then you can break free from there. So Gary started to self-mutilate. 74 parts of his body he cut off, including his penis by half 3 times. Then he wrote a letter to the government and he said, I'm a man, I need to stand when I urinate, you have to help. So they sent nurses up here with catheters to show him how to stand and urinate. Well, he was over the moon, not because the nurses came, but because the government paid attention to him. So he sent another letter, when I get out of here, I'm going to poison all of Melbourne's water and you're going to die. Next letter, when I get out of here, I'm going to get a plane and fly into the tallest building in Melbourne. I'm going to kill everyone in that building. So I thought, well, good job he's up at J Ward. The next one came. When I get out of here, I'm going to make Hoddle Street look like a picnic in the park. So they really started to panic then, thinking, oh my God, what's he going to do if he gets out? So that was it. They went to court and they made a new act. And the act was a Citizens Protection Act. And they put it on Gary's head. And that meant that he would never get parole and he would never, ever be released. So he had to stay here.
All right. This place is incredible. Amy and Jared gave us a really good idea of where we should investigate here tonight. Sandra gave us an amazing idea of the history of this place. And I'm excited to tackle this. Jail, asylum, whatever you want to call it. Are you ready, Dave?
I'm more than ready.
Let's tackle J Ward and see what this place has in store. See if there's any people, patients, that may still haunt this really creepy place.
Let's do it. Let's knock it out.
Rolling, this is the S session down in the basement. That was me. Of J Ward. We are in the basement dungeon bathroom. Going to communicate with the butcher. You're the one that wanted to get in here, man.
I know, but if there's a damn huntsman in here,
you won't even see it.
It'll bite me.
No, it won't. Okay. Blindfold.
Could you set these on the stairs for me?
Yeah. All right, so I'm officially down in the basement of J Ward. I'm down in the kitchen. Dave is over in the bathroom. That bathroom has reports of people saying that they felt a malicious entity choking them, squeezing their throat. So a lot of strange activity in and amongst this area, so.
Trying to figure out what to do for dinner? Let HelloFresh help you take care of that with chef-rated recipes delivered directly to you. Our fresh, pre-portioned.
I'm here to talk with the butcher. If the butcher is here, in that bathtub, my friend Dave is sitting with a box that he can use to speak to you. Can you walk up to him? Form. It just said form. You can use this box in my hand too to try and speak to me. Are you trying to form?
Wanted. Casket. Basement. just said wanted casket. Wanted casket basement. Is this the butcher? Are you trying to get rid of the men that you are killing? There was a story of a man who butchered people who hurt his family. Are you trying to get rid of the bodies of the men who hurt your family? Back here behind me in this room, there's a light. Can you touch that or knock it over? So that I know that you're here with me. If the butcher is here, I'm so sorry about what happened to your family. Are you the same person that likes to hurt people down here, scratch them, attack them, choke them? Were you an inmate here at J Ward, or were you an inmate of the jail? Dude. Hello? Thank you. Can you touch that again for me? Thank you. I'm going to come in that room, okay? Are you in here? Who's in here with me? Can you use this box to speak? Wow. Knock it off the shelf if you can. So far, I haven't heard a single thing come through. Can you go into the bathroom and speak to Dave? Do you need a wagon or a casket to get the bodies out of the basements? To get the bodies out of the basement? Do you need caskets and a wagon? Or are you just going to butcher them up like a piece of meat and send them off to be eaten? Is this the butcher? Light it up more if this is the butcher. Was this where you did the butchering? Do you want me to back out of here? Do you want me to leave? Oh, it's up to yellow now. Wow. Oh, shit, it's getting ready to hit. Keep going. Get as close as you can. Are you shitting me? Who is this? Do you like the lights? What the f? Do you like the lights? Wow. I'm going to slowly back out of the room here. I want you to see this. Dave. Yeah? Bring those headphones and come here out of the tub and stand in this other room. Okay, hold on. The Mel meter was just going absolutely bonkers. I told you. Yeah. It was spiking for like 2 to 3 minutes straight all the way up to, and it started by just going to green and then it went all the way to red and kept going red and red and red. Every time I started talking about the butcher. Really? Yeah. In that room with the Mel. Watch the cat ball in the middle of the floor.
I had not a single anything has come through this, by the way. Yeah, I guess I'll just stand right here.
Let me
Where do
bring
you
this
want
up.
me at?
Huh?
Where do you want me at? Like right here?
Yeah, that works.
Or over here?
Probably right there. What the
Did that just die?
Hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. It did just die.
Listen, this is how I do feel. Like I don't. Egypt, why are you on some make?
That was fully charged.
It had hours of battery left, and this just died. At what point did it just die? Hold on.
How did that just die, though?
I don't know. It still had hours of battery left when I set it down. We've only been recording for what this one says 18 minutes on this clip.
Hold up, whoa.
What? Did something else just die?
Literally, you can see it on camera. This just stopped itself. The spirit.
Did you just hear that voice?
This literally just stopped itself.
I heard it. What? Hold on, let me turn this off. Let me get this camera rolling. Where's that battery?
In my hand here.
Okay. So literally the battery died, and then the spirit box stopped recording, or the recorder just stopped.
Yeah, just
Here, let me
stopped.
see.
19 minutes, 8 seconds.
That's bizarre, because you would have had to have pushed the front button.
As far as I know, I didn't press it because I was holding it like this.
Yeah. We'll be able to see on this camera for sure. You were right on camera, so we can cross-reference and just to make sure. And if you did happen to bump it, we can debunk it. But if it did just stop itself from recording, actually, do you want to run this camera and I'll listen in there?
Yeah.
Because it was like going nuts when I went in there.
Okay. 21 minutes left here and 2 hours, 56 minutes left there just to document. You guys, this is one of our big batteries. You guys, this is one of our big batteries.
Okay.
Same as the one that's on there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stand in here.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get my spot here.
Guys, so far this is crazy.
Ooh, I just heard a voice for the first time. Sounded like a little kid said, "Mommy."
Is there a little kid down here with us? If there is, go touch that green light right there on the shelf behind my friend Ryan. You could make it light up really awesome colors, really pretty colors. Can you try that for me? Or there's even a music maker right here, look. If you stand in that doorway there, it'll make music for you. So if you want to try that, go for it.
4.
Do you know the butcher? There was a man here who killed 5 prisoners because of what they did to his family. If the butcher is here, please let me know. I want to talk to you.
That was him, or that was me?
Butcher. I wish I knew your real name. Can you tell me your real name? Can you tell Ryan what your real name is?
Run.
I'm not running. I play that game. If you want to try and scare me, make one of these devices go off. How long were you in here? How many people did
Bath.
How many people did you kill in here?
Hair's standing up on my left arm like there's someone here. I feel like there's someone behind me right now. Just very creepy.
Butcher, are you in that room? Are you standing in there with Ryan? If you're in there with him.
Someone whispered, "Hey."
If you're in there with Ryan, turn on that green light again. We just want to know who we're talking to. Are you an inmate? A patient?
I'm gonna walk back to the bathroom.
Okay.
And see what I get. Is anything happening out here?
Not a single thing.
Really?
Yep. Other than I had to go get another new battery.
Really?
For this camera, yeah.
The Mel meter hasn't gone off at all?
Nope.
That is so weird because it was going nuts.
Yeah, it hasn't gone off once.
The fact that it hasn't gone off at all speaks volumes about what happened beforehand. Are any of the words relevant to anything?
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Governor, are you in the bathroom? Is the butcher down here with us? Come through the radio and talk to Ryan. Tell her what your name is, please. We want to know who we're talking to. There's a device on the bottom of the steps here. It's red. Can you try and pick it up?
Stocks. I know very little about stocks beside the iconic bull on Wall Street.
That's so weird. I walk back here and all the voices stop.
Yeah, everything has gone quiet.
Yeah. It was very weird that I was getting responses through what seemed to be like the obelisks, not responses, but like relevant words coming through. And then all of a sudden, the Mel meter started going nuts in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to move everything to that room. And as we're moving the camera and stuff to that room, that camera dies unexplainably when it had hours of battery left. Man, I could stay down here for hours, but we got so much of this asylum left to go and investigate.
Yes.
You want to go check it out?
Already.
All right, so we are here in the shower house, the shower block as it's called. They bring the inmates in here, usually 4 at a time to shower. This is an area where Jenny she had interesting equipment interaction and has had some interesting experiences in here. So we have the REM pod over here, the paranormal music box over here, the obelisk set up right here in front of the camera. So if anything happens inside the shower block here, Anything audible, anything visually, we'll pick it up on camera, or the equipment will interact. This is our abandonment, and we're gonna do the shower block for our abandonment. So let's. That was weird. Huh. The door just pulled shut. Yeah. Say it could be the wind. How about that? Sure. The door does go outside, so we'll say it must be the wind. It's those crazy Aussie storm winds kicking up. But we're going to leave this alone. We're going to go investigate in the West Wing, which is a completely separate building. So let's do it.
Let's go.
Did it roll? Hello? Okay, so we are now inside the West Wing. We just got everything set up, and as we were getting things set up, the Mel meter over there in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the hallway, started to go off. Not quite sure how or why or what really caused it to go off. This is an area that they built on specifically for J Ward, for the criminally insane, as they called them.
Do you like that little green noisemaker that we have there? Right in the middle of the floor, you were just making it go off. Can you try and reach out and touch that again? I'd like to hear it. Did you get that?
The flux just lit up. Do you see that?
Dude, something would have to be standing in that doorway to make that go off.
Right. Or they would have had to have just walked out of that doorway.
Right.
You see how when you get close to that, it lights up? Can you move down closer to us?
Can you try standing beside that blinking thing again?
Tired. Gone.
You're gone?
You're tired?
It is late. It's after midnight, huh?
Can you stand in this doorway for me? You might get to hear the music play. Bet you being locked up in here, you didn't get to listen to very much music. Or maybe you did. Maybe you did. If you get close to me, you might be able to use this box to speak. Or if you choose to go to Dave, you can talk to him through the one that he's holding.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard. Have you ever done a recording where your guest just had terrible internet issues? They were blurry, they were freezing, you could almost hardly hear them. Well, with local recordings from StreamYard, you'll be able to download a perfect quality video from your guest after the show. This means that no matter what you or your guest's internet connection is like, you'll be able to download the perfect high quality recording every single time. You can also download both a separate audio and a separate video file for the hosts and guests. Now with StreamYard, you can have freeze-free studio quality recordings on any connection, anywhere in the world. You can choose to download them, stream them later, or edit and repurpose them. It's your turn to test out local recordings today. now available on StreamYard.
Not gonna make it tonight. The wife is driving me crazy.
Oh, dear.
What's going on?
Sir, this is our mistake. Our marketing campaign wasn't good enough to guide you to download our real survival game. To make it up to you, I promise you, new players who use the link in the description to download this game will get 777 draws free when they log into the game. You don't have any money to get numerous legendary heroes.
What? That's a lot of benefits. Why are you so generous?
That's because you are the player. We could give you all the benefits available in the game right now if we could. Look, I downloaded the game and created a new account. That instantly gave me 777 just for free. Oh my gosh, there she is. I got the greatest legendary hero, Kira. That's awesome. Kira can easily eliminate millions of zombies. I also got Lucky, Ale, and Meg. I can't believe it. I'm so lucky. The in-game benefits are seriously incredible. Wouldn't you like to give this a try?
Hello. Whoa. Hello. Hello. Whoa. Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Did you hear Sophie?
I'm not sure. My name's Ryan, and that's Dave. Do you want to talk to us? Hi there.
Did you say your name is Sophie? Is this J Ward?
Were you here from when this was the jail? Where are you hiding? Are you hiding in one of these rooms?
Simon.
Simon.
I think the spirit box just said Simon too, right before that said that.
Really?
I'll have to replay that back and listen to it, but it sounded like it said it was a man's voice.
Simon. Simon.
Simon, if you're here, can you touch that thing right there in the middle of the floor? It's got a green light and an antenna on it.
Devil.
Devil.
What rooms are down here at the end of the hallway? They built special rooms for patients that were infected with a virus. Do you remember what that was called? Do you remember?
Let's play. Let's play.
What it was like to live in here?
Horrible. Did you hear that?
Can you tell us why you stayed here? There was a man that lived here for a long time that was a very huge problem. He used to threaten people all the time, and they made a special law to keep him here. Do you remember what his name was?
They went to court and they made a new act. And the act was a Citizens Protection Act. And they put it on Gary's head. And that meant that he would never get parole and he would never ever be released.
He used to threaten people all the time, and they made a special law to keep him here. Do you remember what his name was?
Jerry.
It sounded like it's someone with an Australian accent said Gary. Like Gary.
Maybe.
Which would be interesting because the guy's name was Gary Webb.
Yeah. Do you know Gary? Is your soul trapped here in this building?
I'm going to turn this box off here in just a few seconds. Tell us, are you trapped here? Family. Interesting responses there again. It's like the same thing where, like, as we found in a lot of different places and a lot of different locations, we get started with these sessions and we get a burst of activity. And then as the communication commences, it kind of starts to die off, like burn off, almost like it's exhausting fuel of some kind, which makes sense. There are a lot of theories that say paranormal activity and paranormal experiences, occurrences are fueled by energy, which is why they believe it drains batteries, and why EMF is produced whenever paranormal activity occurs.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have better luck if we go and try and talk to them in the cells.
I think we probably would.
I think we would. The original cells.
Yeah.
The ones that were there from the beginning to the end.
You want to head over there?
Let's give it a try.
So we're currently in the cell block. Dave has been really excited to go into one of the cells. So you're going to be going in alone, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go in and sit with George.
So what drew you to this particular cell?
Well, George is a homophobe, and I figured I would go in and see if I could get him to interact with me. See what happens. See if I could trigger him into his old past tendencies to see if he'll come out and speak with us.
All right, watch your back in there, because George is a violent fella.
That's what I've heard. But I've got one thing on George here, and that's I've got both of my eyes.
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
George, can I come in and lay down on your bed? If you don't want me to, can you set off one of those devices? All right, I'm coming in. Or am I coming out?
Snap.
Sorry. I'm done. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Tripwire just went off.
It did?
Yes.
On the stairs, yeah.
All right, George, I'm in here in your cell with you. I heard that you're a very angry guy. Are you in here with me? If you are, make one of these things go off.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Sounded like it was up top.
Someone up there. Why don't you come down here? Maybe you can walk down the stairs. George, we were sent here by Princess Margaret. How do you feel about that?
I heard that.
I heard that from in here.
Sound like footsteps up there.
We do have a flare upstairs.
Okay, yeah.
So thermal imaging up near where the execution happened.
I'm gonna go just up to the top of the stairs here.
Can you follow Ryan up?
George, I heard that you lost a fight to a 13-year-old boy. He punched your eye out, literally. Does that upset you?
How do you feel in there, Dave?
I feel fine, actually.
Yeah?
Thinking about hopping on this bed here with George.
What the f was that?
Where
you
are
hear
you,
that?
Ryan?
I did hear that, yeah. He's directly above you, Amy.
Oh, that was over here, maybe?
Yes. It sounded like that dummy or something almost just fell off of that. Something was.
Was that you?
No.
No.
Okay.
Something just moved
I was
over.
watching Ryan. He was not moving then.
Something just moved over here by the gallows.
You aren't just one you. There are many sides to you. And every one of them deserves the best. Introducing Max, the one to watch.
Can you push one of the dummies over?
George, are we mad? If you want Dave out of yourself, push something over. I was in the rec room over here.
The rec room, yeah.
Rec room?
Are you not comfortable with your masculinity, George? You're not comfortable with yourself? Generally, those are the type of people who are homophobic.
Guys, I don't know what that sound was, but it sounded like something almost fell over. That was f***ing loud.
What's going on, Amy?
There's a lot of noises up here.
Really?
Yeah. Ryan's up there, but they're not coming from where Ryan is, so it's not him. It was like here and then down by the hanging bay.
Oh, wow.
Nothing seems to be out of place or moved. I don't see anything. That was so strange. That was so loud. If you want Dave out of yourself, push something over. I really did think that there was someone coming towards me. I didn't know which direction to turn to face the camera because it started over here and then it came from back here. And I didn't know what direction they were coming from.
I could hear it from in there. So.
Yeah. That was a little weird, a little wild.
Whoa, tripwire.
Tripwire just went off as you were coming down those stairs.
Are you following me down, or are you trying to stop me from coming down the stairs?
Who's here with us?
Come on down the stairs.
I was standing right up here, completely still, when it sounded like there was like really fast and heavy movement from over here. So I turned that way to try and figure out what made that sound. And then there was a sound that came from down by the rec room. So I had then immediately asked if they could make the sound again. And immediately it was like, I said, if you don't like Dave in there, push something over. And it just went, and again, bam, from down there. I went and looked and I couldn't find anything that had fallen over, but it was a pretty heavy sound.
I can vouch for you not moving too, because I was actually watching you at the time.
Yeah, I was
up there through the net.
Standing still right there at that.
Yeah.
In front of this cell right here. I didn't know whether to move one way or the other because I didn't know what direction the noises were going to be coming from next.
Do you not want anybody up here?
All right, you got a new friend up there now. Can you make some noises for Dave? EMF on the stairs. Go on, go up there with Dave.
How many of y'all remember George getting beat up by a 13-year-old boy? Do you not like all four of us being in here?
Do you want to try box? Would you guys
Yep,
be keen on
let's try.
that? Can you go up towards this guy? Right here. Maybe you can go towards those lights in his hand. We want to hear your voice. We want to know who you are. I'm. Can you finish that?
They say they're up there.
They're back there. I'm not sure. It's a little fast.
We'd like a name, please. Okay.
This one door?
This one door.
Can you give us maybe a cell number? Do these cells even have numbers?
I don't know. I don't see numbers on them.
Can you maybe give us a name? Because some of these cells have names at the front of them. And if you give us a name, we might be able to know what cell you're referring to.
Behind her?
Behind you.
Whoa.
Is that you, Dave?
That was not me, no.
That was really weird.
Was that up or down?
Up.
I actually thought it was down, but the echo just makes it so hard to work out where these noises are coming from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what made that noise?
Andrew Vare, Robert Burns, Henry Morgan, are you here?
Behold, summer's favorite hot dog. Juicy with Oscar Mayer beef and finished with unmistakable Heinz flavor. And meet the classic cheeseburger, melty with Kraft Singles goodness you'll want to savor. Make your cookout stand out from the crowd.
Ines Trust. Because
Can you tell us what crime you were charged with?
That was me.
You experience others.
Did that just say ovilus? Or am I just hearing that? Okay, tell me where to go. Cat ball.
The cat ball's taking a beating.
Four.
Four. There's 4 of us.
Okay. These aren't numbered, are they?
I couldn't see it.
Okay, is 4 on this side? You're not sure where 4 is? What about this side?
There.
Oh, this is that room, Jared.
That's the electroshock room.
Yeah. Can you tell me about this room? You remember when I slept here? Can you talk to me in here, please? There's a kid here. I need you to tell me what happened to you, or what happened in this place.
Did you like the doctors that were here?
More than 6.
More than 6?
Whoa.
Who was that?
That wasn't you?
No.
There was just a knock on the steps and the tripwire went off.
That noise did sound similar to what we heard before as well, Ryan.
That's really cool. Okay, if there's no stairs, you can come up here with me. But if you come up here with me, you need to make some really loud noises up here. I know you did it for the boys when they were up here, and I'm jealous. I want the loud noises.
Did you follow Amy up the steps?
What did you think of the guards here?
Things have gotten very quiet.
Yeah, it seems to have just sort of tapered off now. But for a moment there was like a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, with that, the activities tapered off here at J Ward. Amy and Jared are starting to pack up their stuff to leave, and our time here is up. This has been an amazing experience, to experience not only the Airedale Asylum and all of the activity that went along with that episode. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, and the link is in the description. You won't want to miss that one. But also to experience where they would send the patients that they deemed to be criminally insane, too dangerous to be housed amongst the rest of the patients at Airedale. This is an amazing location. This is an amazing, historic, and haunted town. And we are so honored that we were able to get here to experience it. So we want to thank Adelaide's Haunted Horizons. We want to thank Allison. We want to thank CAG. We want to thank everyone that's been involved in helping us get here to this moment, to where we can actually be here to experience this. All the links to all of their social medias and their YouTube channels will be down in the description. But also, we want to thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you made it this far, you're a true part of the Paranormal Quest family, and we appreciate you. If you'd like to help us out, hit that like button and share the video with your friends and family. That helps more than you know. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Turn on bell notifications, because we are going to go on a journey, on an adventure, to some of the most haunted places in the world, and we want to bring you along for the ride, and you don't want to miss it.
And if you want to support us additionally, make sure you go over, join our Patreon, or become a member of the YouTube channel where you can get extra perks for the extra support you give. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Leave us a comment down below and let us know what you thought of the video. Let us know if you saw anything that we missed. Stay safe, guys. We'll see you in the next one.